Okay, you beautiful friends, welcome back to the back of the semi truck, and we're not going to be back here long. We're about to jump right into this video, and I just wanted to give a quick introduction as to what this video is and what it is. As you can tell by the title, I watched the first episode to three different random animations, and what we're going to be doing is going over each of those episodes, and I'll be stopping after watching a clip with y'all, or at least presenting a clip. I'm not going to be watching with y'all. This isn't exactly a reaction video, but I'm going to play a clip, give some thoughts, play a clip, give some thoughts, play a clip, all the way until the end of the episode, and give my first thoughts after watching that episode and all that good stuff. So we got three episodes. I was originally going to do 10 episodes, but I figured out real fast that that video would have been like an hour and a half to 2 hours long, and I didn't want to do that to y'all. So here's three to start with, and then later on down the road, I'll do three more, and then three more, and then so on and so forth if this becomes a pretty good hit. So with that said, I'm going to jump off and pass it off to narrating Billy, or whatever version of a video I'm doing. Okay, so the first show I ended up watching was entitled Seven Seeds, and as y'all can tell by the synopsis I got scrolling across the screen, it sounds like an incredibly interesting show. So I say, let's get me to stop talking, let's play some clips, stop those clips, give some thoughts in between, and then let me go ahead and give you my first impressions of this first episode after that. So let's do it.
I mean, I don't even remember leaving my bedroom last night, much less getting on any ship. The last thing I recall was going to bed. I've no idea how I got here.
Okay, so right here at the beginning, I like this so far. It gives us a little bit of mystery as to, did this government just abduct some people and make them involuntarily join this program? I don't really know quite yet, so let's keep going with a few more clips.
Oh, not bad.
It'll be hard to climb with just one arm.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I like how you turn a guy down.
And then we get introduced to our pervert slash jerk character, because you've always got to have one of those in a show.
Oh, you've got no ass at all. And I was hoping for a better reaction, like a eek, or no, don't touch
Knock
me there.
it off. Not a good first impression.
Whatever, you Boy Scout. I don't give a damn.
Okay, don't get me wrong, I don't mind a perverted comment from time to time, but this is a very young girl on this show. Chill out already, show.
Sophomore.
Natsui Washimizu, first year.
I am Semimaru Asai, and I'm 18. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, but I don't think it's nice for her to meet you, considering that she's 14 and you've already grabbed her butt. Not cool, dude.
But I do love a challenge. Let's have a little fun.
You have a death wish? I can grant that wish.
Huh? I'm just playing.
I assure you that I didn't mean to play this many clips of this guy in a row, but he seems to be the standout character that everyone's just going to hate in this show, so I don't know, I just want to comment on him, but at least there's someone there to actually stand up to him and put him in his place.
I have to do something. I have to find a way to prove myself useful. Otherwise, I'll just be a burden.
What are you doing, Natsu? I thought it was clear we all were going to search for food.
So I know she introduced herself earlier in the episode, but I figured I'd take a second and say I don't know what it is about these kind of characters, but I always gravitate towards them because they're timid and small and always feel like they have something to prove to themselves and others. But I don't know, just something about them that always draw me to wanting to root for them as the main character of the show. So, I don't know. Let's go ahead and see in the next clip how much of a jerk this woman's being, but I'll give my thoughts on it anyway.
I'm really sorry.
All you do is apologize. Now, go! You should at least be able to find your own damn food.
this is where I'm a little conflicted with the older woman and her character. I get being harsh, but at a certain point, you gotta chill on the harshness and realize when to be nurturing. But at the same time, I like her harshness because this timid little girl here needs that harshness to actually grow up in this environment that they find themselves in. So it's kind of, I'm conflicted, but I'm not at the same time. And then I feel like once I continue the series and finish it, this older woman, I'm horrible with names, by the way. I feel like she's going to end up showing us her nurturing side. So I guess this is a good representation of who she is at first, and we can continue to develop her later.
That thing. It's huge.
So here we are now. We're going to be getting introduced to new characters, and we're also getting introduced to the fact that there are more dangers to their surroundings than we thought there were to begin with.
Is everyone okay?
Stupid brat. Do we look okay? That'll be the last time we ever try to get water from there. You hear me?
Bugs were all over the place down there.
It has now been about 2 weeks since we arrived here, and we haven't seen signs of any airplanes or even ships for that matter.
This is the rest of the new group of characters that we will be meeting in this episode, and as y'all can tell, the unlikable one in this group is going to be their supposed leader, and he's just a plain jackass. I don't normally cuss on this channel, but there's no other word for what he is. But at least we are getting some new information about this place that they're in. They've been there for 2 weeks. Granted, we don't know about the other group we've met and how long they've been there, but we know that this group has been there for 2 weeks. So that's some new information, thank goodness.
For now, but it won't last. We should trust our instincts while we're out here in the environment. Hana!
Maybe you forgot. I'm the leader of this group, little girl, and whatever I say is what we do.
So, I was a bit too early in the last clip telling y'all that he was the leader, but yeah, he's the leader, and now y'all understand why I feel like he's such a jerk.
Of you and your big bug friend earlier, I'm in a lot of pain. You're always
It's more than just a smell. Something's wrong with him.
But just look, you're absolutely helpless to do anything against me.
So, in order to stay away from all-out spoilers, this scene, there is more to him being a jerk here than what we previously saw. Granted, he's still a jerk, but there is more to this story and what's going on than just meets the eye and why he's acting the way he is. So, I'm staying away from spoilers in order for y'all to go check it out for yourself.
Don't be an idiot! You bitch!
We have to go after him. Take care of Hibari for me. Here.
No, you don't have to go after him. Didn't you just see what he fell into?
I see you're all awake.
Unami.
Everybody line up, and don't dilly-dally.
But, why are you here?
Because you're all a bunch of worthless losers, they added an adult to the group.
Huh. Now we get introduced to a whole new group of characters, it looks like, here at the end of the episode.
Hey, don't shoot!
God damn you.
Well, that's a new character that I don't think we're going to be getting to know very well, but either way, after watching the first episode of 7 Seeds on Netflix, is this a show that I am going to continue to watch? Well, that's actually a bit of a weird answer because I want to watch it, but I gotta find time because this is one of those shows where I don't think it's going to be very conducive to watching as like a week-to-week show, or you catch an episode here or you catch an episode there. I think this is one of those shows that is intended to binge watch, and if you don't binge watch it, then you're going to forget a lot of what you just watched. Such as, after watching that first episode, we were introduced to 3 groups of people, but we're not able to get to know hardly any of them. We got little tidbits here and there, but we didn't get to know any of them really, and actually fall in love with the characters and want to continue watching just for the sake of watching for them. So if you're going to binge watch it, I could definitely see watching this as sitting down and watching 3 or 4 episodes in one sitting, because this is obviously a big, long story that is meant for that kind of watching. So I want to watch it, I just have to find time. Because I can't do that whole 1 episode here, 1 episode there thing, because now I'm invested and I want to continue, but I can't continue because I do have a job, and once I'm done driving for the evening, because I am a truck driver, if y'all can't tell by the title of this channel, but I am a truck driver, I do have to call my wife, and I do have to record other stuff, and I just don't have time to be sitting down for 2-3 hours watching one television show. Granted, that's not the only thing wrong with the show. It's very intriguing. I find it very intriguing. But then there's the problem of the characters. You don't get to know the characters that well because you're not with them long enough to even know them. Such as that first group of people. I wanted to know more about that one girl who's putting herself down and all this stuff. And then I want to know more about the woman who's very stern and a matter of fact. And I want to see someone pop that one guy in the jaw because he's so creepy and perverted all the time. So I wanted to get to know that group, the first initial group that we met. But then we jump over here to this other group, and we're supposed to get to know them now. And then now we had a third group at the end. This show's got an interesting premise, but it doesn't stick around the characters long enough for us to get to know them. So I want to watch it. But at the same time, it's not worth watching if I catch 1 episode here and 1 episode there, because I'm not with the characters long enough to get to know and love them. So that's my first thoughts of Seven Seeds' first episode. So I don't really know what else to say about that one, so on to the next show. Oh goodness, I'm about to butcher this, but The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. Hopefully I pronounced it right, but let's play those clips. Let me say what I have to say, and then let's say what I think of the first episode.
I started walking when I was 1 month old, in the air.
Yeah, and yet you couldn't control your drooling.
Oh, Coo.
And my mom finally started to worry about me. Now you'd think after a year of this weirdness they'd take me to get tested, but my folks are kind of weird themselves.
So this really isn't a spoiler, but when he says that his parents are weird, what he means is his parents are a dysfunctional kind of weird, and it's not really a dysfunctional weird that makes you hate them or anything. It's, oddly enough, it's a dysfunctional type of weird that oddly makes them that much more endearing to where you kind of like them for their weird dysfunctionality.
Sure, I never get angry or sad about anything, but that just means there's no joy or thrill in my life either.
Well, okay then. Way to be such an optimistic pessimist.
I guess there is one thing in my life that's decidedly unpeaceful.
I can't believe you changed the locks on me again!
That would be my parents' current relationship.
I hope you're hungry, Cuckoo. I'm making you breaded pork chops for dinner.
Hang on, and now you're choosing to ignore me? Besides, I told you I wanted to have steak tonight!
I'm sorry I forgot, but I can boil you a leather shoe.
I don't want a shoe, leather
I wonder when it went wrong for them.
See what I mean? They are so freaking dysfunctional, but yet I absolutely love those two. I would literally just watch a series of them bantering back and forth about whatever the heck they're upset about that day with each other.
Feel free to use your powers to hurt your daddy.
She kind of has a dark side herself.
Stop
Stop eating Kusuo's dinner, you thieving son of a bitch!
Oh, I absolutely love the mom's dark side. She has a sweet and innocent side of her dark side that comes out with her son and telling him, oh, feel free to use your powers on your daddy. And then when the dad's there, demonic. Love it.
Within 200 meters, I can sense anyone.
Guess who?
Well, that used to be the case. There's one guy my powers always fail to spot.
Hey there, buddy!
Riki Nindo, the guy no one likes, but who's strangely taken a liking to me.
You know, I have no idea what to say about this guy. I like him, but at the same time, he's just weird enough to make you wonder why you like him. It's just a strange individual.
Me?
Come on, dude, I don't have a fever. I'm not even sick!
92.8 Celsius.
So thanks, Google, for translating that temperature for me, who is only used to Fahrenheit. But he's correct. He don't have a fever. He's got what's going to eventually be death with a temperature that high.
Pyrokinesis, my ability to manipulate fire. Oops, I melted the tip. Better hide the evidence. He saw.
Have the fever, too? You can beat this thing,
Like I said,
man!
Nindo's a moron.
You know, after rewatching that clip, I don't see Nindo as an idiot in this situation due to the simple fact that he's never seen somebody with powers. So when he walks in and sees the fact that somebody's touching and holding a thermometer and it's bursting into flames, his mindset doesn't go to, oh, this guy's got powers. No, his mindset is like, holy crap, you must have a fever because your touch is making things burst into flames. So this isn't a matter of him being an idiot on this situation. This is just simply him not understanding the situation.
Guy's balls still attached. Worry about yours! This might feel weird.
Well, obviously they do! The snake's on your crotch!
I'm dead!
Calm down, it didn't bite through the fabric.
It's coming toward us!
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, that this show is a little bit weird having a snake biting the crotch of a high school student. But whatever, let's keep going.
Saiki, hi! I couldn't help but notice you look sad. Perfect. Now he has a memory of me to cherish for the rest of his life.
Okay, so as for me, I like her. Granted, yes, she is a little conceited, but at least she's trying to make people feel better about their day and whatnot. But what I'm more concerned about is, where is this show located? I feel like I've narrowed it down to Europe at this point because in the background behind these two, we've got what looks like a Colosseum, but then right there next to that Colosseum looking thing, there's the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then it looks like there's a bunch of other Greek-looking stuff. So I'm kind of like, okay, where are we located at here? I have no idea.
How else are you supposed to react to perfection? That's it! You're supposed to panic at the mere thought of touching me! Oh, I get it. He's uncomfortable showing his emotions in public.
See what I mean? She is conceited as all get out, but she is bound and determined to make Saki feel better about his day.
I think I'm falling in love with Saiki!
Oh, wow.
Oh, goodness. Old girl does not know how to react when people don't fall all over themselves and have a much better day just because she's there to shine her presence on them. But either way, let's talk about the first episode and whether or not I would continue watching this series after watching that. And the answer is kind of a yes and no. Yes, I wouldn't mind catching an episode here and there, but no, I'm not worried about actually catching another episode. I mean, if I catch another episode, then cool. But if I don't, it's not the end of the world, and I won't be stressing on when's the next time I get to see an episode. For me, this feels a lot like My Little Pony Tell Your Tale when it comes to how short the episodes and segments seem to be, because the storytelling does not feel like storytelling to me. In the beginning, we start with Saki and his parents, and then we go from that to school where the snake ended up biting the kid in the crotch, and then Saki made people believe that the other kid had some sort of powers or something. And then we have the third little mini story where old girl fell in love with him just because he brushed her off. I don't see what kind of structure it has to it other than its segments as opposed to a full-on story. And a show structured like that makes me feel like if I catch it, I catch it. If I don't, I don't. It just makes it feel like shorts to me. Now, granted, I don't normally watch animes and mangas, so maybe I'm at a loss as to the normal storytelling pace of these various, animes. So maybe that's on me for not knowing all the ins and outs of anime and mangas. I almost said manga. I'm not, and when it comes to pronouncing manga and manga, I'm not ever 100% sure how to pronounce it. So that's just a rabbit trail that I accidentally went on. But back to that episode and whether or not I would watch it. For the most part, I would not watch this show going forward. If it happened to be on and I was watching it, it's one of those shows that I would watch it until that portion of the story ended, and then I would just start flipping the channels again, or at least how I grew up, it was flipping the channels. Nowadays, it's Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and all that, and we don't have channels anymore, but I'll get off the rabbit trails and get back to what I was saying. Pretty much in a nutshell, I would finish the first part of the story and then move on after that and find something else to watch. And then if I happen to catch it again, I'll watch that portion of the story and then move on after that one's done. It just, the pacing of the episode just did not feel like it gave me any story to it. Hopefully that makes sense, but for me, I probably wouldn't continue watching it. It's not a binge-worthy show to watch, nor is it a show that wants to make you sit down week to week to watch it. So it's kind of like, I can live without it, and if it's on, then I could watch it. So it's one of those shows. So I say let's move on to the next show, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed. Okay, y'all, so I don't even know how to describe this show. I just thought it was a fun concept, and ultimately, it was a fun concept. I just love the idea of God making a mistake and saying, here, I'll just send you to this universe, and you still have, like, your cell phone and all this kind of stuff. So, if you want more detail on what it's about, just pause the screen and just read what the description is saying there. Let's jump into it.
I'm sorry to say that you're dead. I was throwing some lightning around and accidentally dropped a bolt on you. The guilt is really tearing me up. It was a freak accident. Hasn't happened to me in weeks.
Gotcha.
I mean, right here at the beginning, we already got what seems to be a pretty chill show from our chill god figure over here saying, hey, look, it's been a couple weeks since I made this mistake, but I threw a lightning bolt, accidentally hit you. Here's how I'm going to make it up to you. And then we got this kid over here being like, gotcha. Not a problem. Whatever, dude. Things happen, right?
You should be able to recharge the battery with magic.
Say what? You mean you're sending me to a world that has actual magic?
Oh yeah, it's got fireballs, lizardmen, the works. I'll endow you with the natural talent for using magic as well.
Okay, so judging by what he just said, that it has fireballs and wizards and lizard peoples and the works and stuff like that, I'm presuming that this is the kind of god who wants to play around and make various different types of worlds and universes, and he's just really goofing off more than anything.
Hey, you there! Hi, how's it going? Hey, we speak the same language. That's cool.
Wherever did you obtain such marvelous apparel from? You must allow me to purchase it from you. I'll pay you well. You won't regret it.
Yeah, dude, I would be giving him the exact same look because dude needs to chill. Clothing is not that important, but at the same time, you kind of got to put it in perspective that you are from a whole other world, so he's probably so darned excited that he's never seen any clothing like this before that he just can't help himself. But yeah, dude needs to chill just a little.
The hell's wrong with you?
I think I'm allowed to destroy my own property.
I'm giving a good boost to your stamina, reflexes, memory, and so forth. Long as nothing too crazy happens, you'll be pretty tough to kill now.
Well, I'm going to take that as foreshadowing from him and say that something crazy is definitely going to be happening down the road.
Of course. Meet you here tomorrow. We can show you the way to thank you for earlier, right?
Yeah.
Thanks a bunch.
And there we have it, our trio of main characters, or at least that's what I'm presuming, considering that I've only watched the first episode so far.
Whoa, that band's breaking up?
Oh my goodness, I am now, as of recording this audio, realizing how awesome it is that he can still see news from his own world through his cell phone, but also how bittersweet and sad it is at the same time. My goodness.
Nice one. So you're a magic user?
Not bad for our first job. We were only hired to kill 5 horned wolves. Maybe we'll get bonus points for the 6th.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about this a little bit more here soon, but for now, all I'm going to say is I like what I'm seeing here. We're getting a little bit of world building, and we're seeing how things work in this universe with how some people make money and how magic works and all that good stuff, but I'll touch on that in a little bit.
Good idea. All right, present your guild cards and I'll update your records.
Oh my goodness, yes, more world building. This is what I'm talking about.
Well, if you want to learn, then Linz is the one to have teach you. She reads for fun sometimes. It's a genius thing.
What?
Silly girl, reading for fun. Who does that? Oh, wait. I do that.
Aptitude?
The type of magic someone can use is dictated by the aptitudes that they're born with. Those who are born without any aptitudes can't use magic, no matter how hard they try.
Interesting. I mean, I've never done anything magical before.
Heck yeah, even more world building. Now we come to find out the type of magic that you can use is dependent upon the aptitudes that you're born with. Kind of like how in Ruby, that you got a semblance that you're born with, you just got to unlock it.
Come forth, water.
Well, gee, go figure. Look who's a natural at magic.
Do you just try everything?
At some point, the name of the spell just comes to you.
Yeah, that's right. Null magic is also known as personal magic because it's very rare for any 2 people to be able to use the same spell.
Okay, so I didn't want to spoil too much, so there is one clip that I took out that I was going to use when it refers to magic and whatnot like that. But this type of magic called null magic, I did want to bring it in because it does function a bit like a semblance from Ruby, where it's individualized to that person.
Specifically, the gate spell will allow the caster to travel to places they've been before. Wonder why it took us here. I guess this place was on your mind when you cast it.
I wonder if that means he'll be able to use that spell in order to go back to his original homeworld.
I guess ice cream isn't a thing here.
What's that?
It's a magical item that helps me learn things. Sorry for the rude request, but I'd be grateful if you didn't ask me too much about it.
Okay, so if I had one gripe about this show so far after only watching the first episode, it would be that him bringing out the phone in front of the girls there should have waited way more than just the first episode, especially with him saying, hey, just don't ask any questions. That's just begging for questions to be asked. But that's just a nitpick. Other than that, love the show so far.
Between this and that device of yours, you keep getting weirder.
I'm curious about it too.
Well, I told you, if you tell them not to ask questions, that's going to beg questions to be asked. But nonetheless, first impressions after watching this first episode, I don't want to give too many spoilers because even with the clips that we watched, it was still a fun and enjoyable episode if you go off and watch it on your own. There's still some little tidbits in there that I didn't throw in there. I took a couple clips out because I thought it was too much spoilers. I found this show, though, to be an absolute joy to watch due to the simple fact that we're introduced to the characters properly. We're not just thrown out in the middle of an episode and just like, oh, here you go, these are the characters, hope you like them. We haven't really introduced you to them, but hope you like them anyway. And that was my problem with watching Seven Seeds, was we didn't get familiar with the characters that much before we just jumped into anything. And this show actually does a good job introducing us to our three main characters, and then we get the world building on top of that, where this is how everything works in this world. There's magic, there's this, there's that. And the magic systems actually are well explained. They threw a lot at us in one episode, but it felt like it was just enough to where it wasn't too much. Because the magic in this show seems like it's actually going to work a specific way, kind of in the same vein as, semblance and auras from Ruby. But at the same time, he's obviously going to be one of the special ones, and he has this natural ability. He's just going to be, this fish out of water story, and these girls are bound to ask a lot of questions. And I've got a lot of thoughts in my head, but I can't even get words out of my mouth because it's the end of the night, and I've just got done driving like 500 miles for the day. But at the same time, I don't want to spoil too much. So I don't want to say too much, but this was a good first episode. I'm hoping when I jump into the next few episodes, it continues this pace. Granted, I didn't want the girls introduced to the cell phone right away, but it is what it is. It's still a good show after the first episode, and it makes me want to watch more. And that's obviously what you want from a first episode. So, with that said, I am going to stop running my mouth here at the end of this episode thoughts and throw it off to the outro version of me out there who's actually on screen saying thank you and all that good stuff for watching. So let me throw it over to a future version of myself. And there we are. Thank y'all for watching and staying to the end of this. And hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like. If you liked it enough, hit the subscribe. I will be doing more of these if it kind of takes off and everybody likes it and all that good stuff. And hit the share, hit all the buttons that YouTube wants you to hit, because I don't know what I'm saying here at the end. Mainly all I'm doing is giving an outro to say thank you for making it to the end, and thank you for watching. And give your thoughts down below in the comments and let me know what you thought of these first episodes with me, if you've seen it. Hopefully I didn't spoil nothing too much. So yeah, leave your thoughts down below. Hit that like, tickle to subscribe. Don't be texting and driving. And as Mr. Rogers always says,
and I like you as you are. I do.